Good day, my dear students. Welcome back to my virtual class. So for today, we're going to have the additional for our chapter 3. Again, it is just additional for our chapter 3. This is not the continuation of our chapter 3. Rather, this is just additional for our chapter 3. So let's proceed. Yan. So again, applied economics as a subject. No need to mention this because we already studied this one on chapter 1. So lesson 3 is all about the basic economic problems and Philippine socio-economic development in the 21st century. We already discussed the history of our country when it comes to their economics, no? And even those countries na naging involved sa ating ekonomiya. But for today, we're going to focus on this one. So we have the theories of economic development. So, in making a theories about economic development, here are the three things that they are considering. Okay? First, the level of production. When we say production, ito po yung paggawa ng mga products na it's either ina-export, ini-import, or ginagamit nating mga mamamayan or yung tinatawag nating mga consumers. Next, the quality of life. Ano nga ba yung kalidad ng pamumuhay sa isang bansa? And lastly, sustainable development. So ang hindi natin masasabi na umaangat ang isang bansa kung stagnant lang yan or steady lang siyang ganun. So kailangan nagkakaroon tayo ng sustainable development. Patuloy ang pag-angat ng isang bansa. Next. So here are some of the examples of economic development theories. First, we have the linear stages of growth, the structural change model, international dependence, neoclassical theory, the new growth theory or what we call the endogenous growth, the theory of coordination failure, and last, the O-ring theory. However, we will not be discussing this anymore because ang focus po natin is the application of economics. It is important to know na ito yung mga example ng theories. If you have time and if you want to search for it on our book or if it is not written on our book, you can browse it on the internet, then you will know the definition of each theory. Economic problems as obstacle to development. So first we have the poverty or yung tinatawag natin kahirapan, no? Last time pinag-aralan na natin 'to. Ngayon mas tututukan natin anong ibig sabihin ng poverty. So according to Todaro, he defines poverty as the condition where a population is only able to meet its basic subsistence needs such as food, clothing, and shelter. No? The moment pala, according kay Todaro, na namimit lang natin ng eksakto, ibig sabihin, yung sakto-sakto lang tayong nakakakain, yung iba kumakain ng isang beses sa isang araw lang, sakto lang silang makasurvive, that is already considered to be a poverty. So, yung mga nakaka-experience ng poverty, as usual, marami sa mga bansa or sa ating bansa ng mga ganyan. Economic inequality. So it is one of the main factors po no na nag-contribute sa poverty ng isang ekonomiya. So it refers to the unequal access to wealth and income. It is a major factor which brings about poverty. So, ibig sabihin, pag mayroong economic inequality, yan ay isa sa mga nagiging dahilan ng kahirapan, no? The two commonly used measures of economic equality are the Gini coefficient and the Kuznets ratio of inequality. Yan yung mga dalawang ginagamit daw nila. Paano nila ma-identify na sa isang bansa or sa isang ekonomiya ay mayroong inequality. Okay, tandaan po natin ang mga yan. We have the poverty and the economic inequality. Next, this one is what we call the absolute poverty. Kailan nagkakaroon ng absolute poverty? It refers to the severe deprivation of basic human needs, which include food, safe drinking water, sanitation facilities, health, shelter, education, and information. So as you can see, these are our primary basic or the primary needs of a human. So nagkakaroon ng severe deprivation or the absolute poverty kapag sobra sa kakulangan, 'no, nung mga needs natin. Kaya yung iba, nakakalungkot mang isipin, meron pa rin namamatay dahil sa gutom. Meron pa rin sa ating mamamayan walang matitirahan. Yun yung mga tinatawag nilang palaboy or mga pulubin, 'no? Pero yung iba naman, may matitirhan nga, wala namang sanitation facilities. Wala silang paliguan, walang palikuran, 'no? It means yan yung mga nakaka-experience ng absolute poverty. We are lucky because, 'no, most of us hindi naman kasali sa mga 'to. That is why, 'no, kaya tayo patuloy yung pag-aaral natin kasi we do not want to experience these things. At the same time, we do not want our children to experience this also, no? Next, how about unemployment? Last meeting or on our last video, we discussed unemployment. But this time, we will be focusing what are the different types of unemployment. So when we say unemployment, it refers to the portion of labor force who is willing to engage in production. Yung iba, ina-associate nila to dun sa tinatawag nilang tambay. Pero that is not correct or it is not correct. It is not right na pag sinabi mong unemployment, yung mga tambay. Yes, yung mga tambay is unemployed pero hindi lang sila yung unemployed or hindi lang sila yung kasali dun sa tinatawag nating unemployment. So ano tong unemployment? Ito yung mga tao, no, na willing silang magtrabaho. Kaso wala silang trabaho sa ngayon. Remember that term. This is the labor force who is willing to engage in production. Iba naman yung tambay na wala naman balak magtrabaho, ayaw naman nila maghanap ng trabaho. So yung mga yun, walang ka-willingness na meron sa kanila, no? So ano yung unang uri ng unemployment? So meron tayong tinatawag na frictional unemployment. It occurs when a worker is between jobs, which means that he or she has left a job and is looking for another job. The key term is between jobs. It means, no, may trabaho sila dati, nawalan lang ng trabaho or nag-resign or umalis dun sa trabaho nila sa ngayon at naghahanap sila ng panibagong trabaho. Yan yung tinatawag na frictional unemployment. How about the second one? The second one is what we call the cyclical unemployment. It is brought about by changes in the economy or the business. This is seen during a downturn in the economy when there is less demand for workers. So, ito po ay epekto, no, nung pagbaba ng kinikita ng isang institution or ng isang business. So, for example, ang isang company po, naka-experience sila ng tinatawag nating downturn. It means malaki yung naging lugi nila on that same period, no? So anong gagawin nila? They are required to have the recession. Sir, ano po itong tinatawag na recession? Ang recession ay yung maramihang pagtanggal ng mga trabahador dahil nga dun sa tinatawag nating downturn ng mga businesses. So normally, kapag nagkaroon naman ng recession, hindi lang isang company, more on yung mismong ekonomiya ang bumaba, kaya yung mga establishments, 'no, naaapektuhan ng pagbaba ng ekonomiya, dahilan para magtanggal sila ng maramihan sa mga trabahador nila. Next, the seasonal, from the name itself, seasonal, 'no? There is a season na meron silang trabaho, there is a season na wala sila. It means when people find themselves unemployed at certain times of the year, This is mainly seen in industries such as tourism, retail, construction, and agriculture. Okay? Hindi naman every week, every day nagsasahod ang isang magsasaka. So yung magsasaka ay under ng seasonal ang unemployment. There are times, no, na wala siyang trabaho. Bakit? Kasi hindi panahon nung kanyang tinatanim. Kagaya na rin ng mga tourism, no? Kung halimbawa, si tour guide, hindi naman everyday may pumupunta dun sa lugar nila para magpa-tour sa kanya. So, kapag marami lang ng mga tao, doon lang siya nagkakaroon ng trabaho. At the same time, no, may season naman na wala siyang trabaho. Kaya under siya ng seasonal unemployment. Kasama na po dyan yung mga construction worker. Pagkatapos na nilang gawin yung building or yung mga bahay, nawawalan na rin sila ng trabaho at kailangan nilang maghanap. Lastly, we have what we call the structural unemployment. It is associated or it is related to the first two types of unemployment, which are the frictional unemployment and the cyclical unemployment. Ano pong ibig sabihin niyan? Nagkakaroon ng structural unemployment kapag sobrang haba na ng frictional unemployment at ng cyclical unemployment. It means marami ang nawawalan ng trabaho sa mahabang panahon. At kung isa ka sa nawalan ng trabaho nun, nahihirapan ka ring maghanap or mahihirapan kang maghanap ng trabaho sa mahabang panahon. That is structural unemployment. Next, how about this one? The underemployment. Don't get me wrong, we have what we call the unemployment and the underemployment. It refers to the state of an individual being employed, but his or her talents and expertise are not underutilized or are not attached to the job. Again, it refers to the state of an individual being employed, but his or her talents and expertise are underutilized or are not attached to the job. What do you mean by this? Eto po yung may mga trabaho pero underrated sila. Ibig sabihin, yung talent nila hindi suitable doon sa trabaho na mayroon sila. Yung minsan, pinapaganda lang nila yung pangalan. Sabi nila, you are overqualified with that position. Overqualified, pero ang totoo, underemployment ka nun. Bakit? Kasi yung dapat na ginagawa mo, doon sa talents mo, doon sa expertise mo, hindi mo nagagawa kasi you are underutilized, no? Or hindi naka-attach yung mga credentials mo or yung mga talents and expertise mo dun sa trabaho na meron ka. And we also have different types of underemployment. First, we have the visible underemployment. It includes workers who work for less than the normal work hours and who look for additional work. Ayan. Ito yung mga nagtatrabaho, no, dahil hindi sapat or hindi accurate dun sa kanilang talents, yung trabaho nila, naghahanap pa sila ng mga sideline or mga part-time to have extra income. That is visible. Ibig sabihin, obviously, malalaman mo na underemployed siya dahil naghahanap siya ng trabaho or ng mga part-time jobs. And next, kung meron tayong visible, we also have the invisible underemployment. It includes workers who work the normal hours or even more in their jobs, but their talents are underutilized or they receive inadequate compensation for their work. Okay? Yung kanina, visible, nakikita mo, no? Kulang sila ng oras sa pagtatrabaho kaya naghahanap sila ng part-time job at kailangan nila ng extra income. So that yon ay visible. Makikita mo naman. For example, supposedly 8 hours ang trabaho in a day. Kaso underemployed siya, no? Ang nangyayari sa kanya 6 hours lang siyang pinapagtrabaho. Kaya naghahanap siya ng panibagong trabaho. That is visible. On the other hand, we have what we call the invisible, no? Eto naman yung mga trabahador, mga employee, 'no? Eto yung mga employee na nagtatrabaho sila on a normal hours. It means they are working for 8 hours, but their expertise and talents are not suitable on their job. Hindi na sila makapaghanap ng part-time kasi naka-full-time na sila sa isang trabaho pero 'no, inadequate yung kanilang sweldo kumpara naman doon sa kanilang mga experiences. Naintindihan po natin? Visible underemployment, eto ang may trabaho pero kulang sa oras naghahanap ng part-time. Invisible, sapat ang oras, kulang ang bayad. Ganun lang po siya, 'no? Next, here are the current trends in labor and employment. What are the current trends? First, we have the compressed work week proposal. This is just a proposal on our country. But on the other countries, especially in Asia, they are applying this one. What is this compressed work week proposal? Ayan. So, compressed 4-day work week. So, it means, no, para makatipid po ang employer, ginagawa nila 4 na araw lang ang trabaho, no? Kagandahan kung isa ka ring employee or nagtatrabaho at sanay ka ng magtrabaho ng 12 or 12 oras sa isang araw, okay lang sa'yo 'to. "Sir, totoo po ba 12 oras?" "Oo, 4 na araw ka nga lang nagtatrabaho, pero kada isang araw 12 oras ka naman nagtatrabaho." And with day off during weekdays. Bakit nagkakaroon ng day off during weekdays? Kasi 3 araw wala kang trabaho, 4 na araw meron kang trabaho. So, aside dun sa 2 weekends, may isang araw ka na para sa weekdays. Next, caregivers, nurses, and medical practitioners needed abroad. So, eto matagal na siyang trend 'no, na yung mga caregivers natin, nurses, medical practitioners ay nagtatrabaho sa abroad. Imbes na dito nila i-practice yung kanilang mga expertise dahil sa kakulangan ng trabaho, they are obliged to go abroad or magtrabaho sa ibang bansa. Ayan. There are new job placements overseas, especially in Japan. There are opportunities for those who seek overseas employment. This break will continue as long as there are restricted. So tuloy-tuloy lang naman 'yan. Every now and then may nag-a-abroad. Medyo nag-minor lang tayo dahil nagkaroon po ng pandemic na naapektuhan ang ekonomiya ng buong mundo. Yan. Inflation. I think we are all familiar with this. An economic phenomenon which is significant in the discussion of economic growth. So, kailangan yan sa economic growth. So, it refers to the continual increase in the prices of goods and services. So, when we say inflation, ito yung patuloy na pagtaas ng mga produkto, ng mga service na meron sa isang ekonomiya. Maganda po ba yan? Maganda yan. Bakit? Kasi pag tumaas ang presyo, tumataas din yung sweldo. Okay? Nagiging pangit lang siya or parang hindi kagandahan 'pag sobra na yung pagtaas ng mga bilihin. It is normal naman kasi na kapag tumataas ang ekonomiya ng isang lugar, tumataas din yung presyo ng mga bilihin. But what is not normal is that yung sobrang pagtaas ng presyo that will result to what we call the hyperinflation. Okay? Hyperinflation, and this hyperinflation will also result in several negative effects. Meron din naman tayong tinatawag na stagflation. Parang inflation plus stagnant is equal to stagflation. It is a period of high inflation, slow economic growth, and high unemployment. So kapag pinagsama-sama mo yung high inflation, which is yung tinatawag natin ngang hyperinflation, yung mabagal na pag-unlad ng ekonomiya at mataas na bilang ng mga walang trabaho, nagkakaroon tayo ng stagflation. Okay? So with that, I will be ending our discussion for the chapter 3. I hope you learned something again and thank you for always listening to your teacher. Good day and bye-bye.